First of all, thank you, MT, for the lovely introduction, and also thank you for letting me speak today, especially towards the audience is second year students and also final year LLB students, right?
Yep.
Okay, though. So I'm currently doing my LLM. I just finished my bar course in May, and if everyone would like to know, Emma was actually my examination in chief examiner. I bet she remembers.
I do. And would you like to tell everybody how you did?
What is that? Sorry.
And how did you do?
Oh, I did well.
Of
The
course you
results
did.
were
I know
out.
you did. And yes.
Yes. All the BSB results and the advocacy results are out, and I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, a very smart girl.
Oh, thank you so much, Emma. So just to share in terms of Northumbria Bar School, for those who like to apply, I think it's a very good bar school in terms of what are the experience that I've learned there. And just to touch into especially the advocacy, as Emma has touched into it, what is important of advocacy, I think I would share this part. When I had my first advocacy class, I was nervous. And it's because it's my first experience in terms of I have to learn in terms of examination in chief. So what we have in Northumbria Bar School, where other bar school doesn't have, is in terms of we learn family advocacy. So you have conference in terms of your submission of advocacy. In terms of criminal, you have your examination in chief and also your cross-examination. So your first advocacy class would be more like a try and error, because it's where you need to learn from your mistakes. But what Northumbria Bar School also provide, where they have the recording for each of your advocacy session. So my advice to students is that when you join Northumbria Bar School, one of the main important thing is to go through or to review back from the recording that you get in terms of your advocacy classes, because from there you learn from your mistake. That's what Emma said, that this doesn't require you can have all the experience that you have in hand, but when it comes to advocacy, what's the main thing here is that you need to practice a lot. That's why also she mentioned 90% preparation and 10% performance, which is true. Because I've done the bar course, and I think in terms of advocacy, where what I have is that a week before or preparation before my advocacy class. So you have to practice where in front of the mirror. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what you do. You just talk in front of the mirror, and that's to practice in terms of examination in chief. And when you have your cross-examination, and when it comes to family advocacy, where you have to be more friendly. So those practice eventually do help at the end when you come to the assessment, where you become less nervous in terms of also you are able to think on your feet, and the confidence has built up. And also where, like Emma said, you fake it till you make it, which is true, because none of us know what we're doing. I think that confidence is enough to make it seems like you know what you're doing. But also with all the practice and what the tutors, especially in Northumbria University, has helped out a lot in terms of giving feedback. And what I like the most for Northumbria Bar School is that when you have any difficulties, or if you want to see your tutor one-on-one, you can just set an appointment, and they will actually sit down with you and tell you that, okay, this is where you need to improve. Or in terms of your questioning style, the tutors there, especially, they are there to help you to improve, which is good. And yeah, I really do enjoy my time in Northumbria, and I think it's the best bar school so far. I mean, comparing to all my other friends who are in a different bar school. Yeah. So in terms of your success in the bar program, I think what's important here would be your discipline and consistency. Because from the beginning of the class, where you have especially Northumbria Bar, if you're planning to apply in Northumbria University, where you will start your advocacy somewhere in November. So October itself, where you learn criminal litigation, you have civil litigation, and also ethics and opinion writing. So those are the months that you have to focus on getting your litigation papers revision. You have to start, because once the advocacy classes start, then you won't have enough time in terms of doing your own revision. So then I think that's all for me, because time constraint here. So your question was, now, beside practicing by talking the mirror, do you have any advice on how to prepare? Okay, I think first of all, as I've mentioned regarding the recording, when you have your advocacy class, because there's only 4 students inside, so run through your recording first. So whatever you don't understand from the recording, I think another thing apart from practice is to ask your tutor, like, where did I went wrong? What did I did? What can I do to improve myself? There's another thing where you have to have self-initiative to be brave, which I understand is very hard for Malaysian students, especially to come forward to ask questions, which is, yeah, when you're doing the bar course, it's completely different because you need to ask a lot of questions to your tutor to understand a lot of stuff.
Completely right. And I would just add that in terms of your preparation, you just have to be very thorough. I think you'd agree that that's right. That students, you need to read your brief really carefully. You need to analyse your case very slowly and purposefully and understand really what it is that you are trying to achieve. And then, for example, in submissions advocacy, you might write your submission, and it's excellent advice that you practice in the mirror. You must practice with your voice out loud. You must speak it, because a lot of students think that they can prepare by just reading it over, but actually you have no idea what your submission sounds like or what your questions sound like until you say them. And I'm sure you've had this experience where you begin reading out your submission and you think, actually, that is not what I mean, or actually that just doesn't hang together properly. It just doesn't sound right. So always being purposeful and slow, really, in your initial preparation and careful, and then always speaking it out loud over and over, in the bath, in the mirror, to your friends, on the bus, everywhere. And don't worry, you won't look like you are insane because everybody is doing the same thing.
In terms of the study techniques, I think there's two main things here where you have to be consistent. Like I said, the moment your bar school starts, it's not a honeymoon period. It's a period where you have to start doing your own notes. Because like I said, for the BSP papers, in terms of the civil litigation and criminal litigation, it requires a lot of your self-time to do a lot of your own notes, your own understanding and discipline. But these two, I tell you, I've no doubt, recently I just received my BSP results. And tell you, with these two things, consistency and discipline, you can make it through. You can pass the bar program. And even good enough, you can even excel in terms of the BSB papers. Because most of the students who went through with these two things, I can see my peers also who has been in the library where I come back, wee hours in the morning studying for the bar course. I've seen also my other classmates who have done it. We all went through. They pass and also excel in terms of the BSB papers. So I think that would be my advice in terms of being consistent in terms of a discipline, especially. That's a good
So,
name.
do you want to answer?
No, that's okay. I think, yeah, you should answer this part because I think we have the same answer in terms of this.
Yeah. So, yeah, the aim of the game, the main thing is that you achieve the highest grade possible in your undergraduate degree. You need a upper second to access the bar course, and every percentage point counts. So you must obtain that upper second, and it really does matter. And I think when you are a hardworking student, you must, every single night that you choose to work rather than scroll through your phone or watch the TV or talk to your friends pretending that you're talking about something relevant, every single time you make one of those sacrifices in your third year, it matters because you must obtain that upper second class degree if you want to access the bar course. And it's not just the piece of paper that counts, it's the knowledge that you develop in your undergraduate modules that really make a difference. Because when you are on the bar course, you are still using that knowledge of undergraduate law. You will have forgotten a significant amount of it, but you do need contract, you do need tort, you do need to understand criminal law. Okay, so it's all transferable into your bar course. But what I tend to say to students is the content, the modules don't matter so much. What matters is that you get the highest degree classification possible. And if a student is at the stage of choosing which options to take, my advice is always to choose what you enjoy, because you will do better in modules that you enjoy. The number of times I've heard aunties and uncles and mums and dads in Malaysia and elsewhere say, I'd really like my daughter to do intellectual property. And the daughter looks like the most miserable person in the world. And I say, would you like to do intellectual property? And they say, no, I would like to do fashion law. What do you think, Emma? Well, my advice is do fashion law. Do what you are interested in because you will thrive don't do something that appears on the face of it to be quite impressive, but actually is for you is just dull.